Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Chuckles here, back at it again. This time we're taking a look at the brand new Elite Force H&K 416A5 by VFC. Ooh, this is a doozy. So, if any of you know, they've been teasing this thing for quite some time. It's finally here. We have it in source, so you can definitely come pick it up, check it out. But we're going to cover everything you need to know about this thing in this review. It is 1-to-1 with the real steel 416A5. The rail is several segments longer. The barrel is like an inch maybe longer than the old 416. Doesn't really make too much of a difference within the context of the airsoft world. Initial thoughts, but picking this thing up, it's pretty good. It's very well done. The trades, some of them, like the logo, almost looks like they're engraved, some of everything, so it looks really clean. So starting at the front, you have the orange blaze flash hider. This is required. This is actually full metal. Underneath are 14mm counterclockwise threads. Pretty standard. The front sight is integrated into the rail system actually. So right here, boom, it's not adjustable, which is perfectly fine. Not really going to be using that. Most of that's going to be in the rear side, but it's really nice. People, and it folds down out of the way so it's flush, so whatever you want to put on your front end, you can definitely do that. Not have any issues with a PEC box or something getting in the way. The rear sight is not anything more than probably a ½ an inch high, so you could keep it on whatever optics you wanted to run. You could have that and keep these sights on and not worry. So if your sight ever went down, had your little milsim off, you'd be good to go. The rail is also actually much lighter than the old 416s. They're really bulky, and they're still, it still retains that large frame, but it feels like it's a lot lighter. They used to be really front heavy, but this feels slightly more balanced, but you still have that little bit of heft on the front. The bolt to remove the rail, actually they changed it so it's not like some weird hex key. It's just a flat head. Just unscrew it and you're good to go, which is fairly nice. So moving back on the rifle, you get to the receiver. You have the warning is no longer on the front underneath the rail. It is actually on the side. It's smaller. It's much less in the way and kind of in your face. All of the logos, H&K, unique serial number to these guys. It looks really clean, much better. It actually feels like it's engraved and molded into the receiver, which is actually really nice. Same thing for the Selector. So then you have all the controls are fully ambidextrous. So you have the magazine release on the right side, and then on the left side, you have to press down on the back here. You can't press down up top. There's a small slant, you'd have to do that. So it's essentially on the same spot, but it's a little bit more difficult to kind of access that. The fire selector as well is ambidextrous. It's on both sides. It's really nice. You can probably hear it clicking into place. That's really nice. Just whether you're in a situation or not, you know that's going to click and it's going to stay there, and no amount of accidentally hitting it is going to knock it loose. They are flared out ever so slightly like they are in the real one, so it's easier to get more purchase for your thumb rather than it's just being rounded, just like it would be on a flared mag release for like a high capper or something. Also, the bolt release is also ambidextrous. So the bolt, the charging handle right there. So then the trigger guard is no longer flat, it is rounded, so it's enlarged, so you can use it with any gloves that you probably have. Nice for your wintertime ops, or if you just don't like getting shot in the fingers, there's that too. The grip is still the 416 H&K style grip, but they added like a beaver tail to it, so it's a lot nicer. It's really comfortable to grab. You don't have to like pinch your hand on like the body in some weird spot where it connects. That's very nice. Then you move back, you have the Sling Adapter. It is on both sides, so it can accommodate pretty much any kind of sling that you'd want to do. You move back, you have this large castle nut, holds this on really solid. Then you have the Slimline 416A5 stock. Just like a standard M4, you get 6-position retractable. It's a really solid, durable, like a nylon fiber. It's much nicer than what you would normally have, and it's recessed in, so you can't accidentally bump it. These guys don't fall out very much. Then you move to the battery compartment. So you have the back, obviously. You actually have this little notch you need to press up, and it actually slides off, which is so much nicer than having a twist and crimp up all the wires. There will be probably some issues that you run into. The number one gripe is the battery space. So you could fit a stick type down the buffer tube with all of the wiring and everything. I recommend just wiring it to Dean's. That'll help cut down on that. But still, really solid. The butt pad is really textured. But it's plastic. There's no rubber or anything, so it's a little bit more solid. I kind of liked the rubber, but you know, they went with that realism factor. So one of the cool features as well is that they redesigned the Magwell on the 416s, so it can accommodate a wider range of M4 magazines. So that was a blessing because you could fit like 3 magazines in there. Like you might fit a K120, you could fit the EPMs, you could fit the Amoeba mags, but you were pretty limited other than that. Other than the 416 mags that it came with. So really cool feature, very nice, very nice. Included magazine is the 416 style magazine, 300 rounds, pretty standard. It does come with a tool actually that you put in the side. So once you fill it up, you wind, and that'll load up the entire magazine. So then when you fire and you go into a match, you won't have to worry about ever having to wind your whatever. But if you ever do, all you have to do is remove this bottom plate, and you actually have the standard wheel that you would on any other high-capacity magazine, which is really cool. And you can have it both ways, but obviously, just winding them up and having it ready to go is like the best thing ever. Just like the QRS mags that VFC does. It's so nice. High caps are a lot better now. They're changing, which is good. Now I've talked a lot about the externals. Let's go into the internals. This has the Gen 2 ECS gearbox by VFC. So the gearbox that was previously in the Avalons, they beefed it up. So what they did is they made the MOSFET, they improved it, they improved the leads on it, you know, 40 amp fuse. So you can run your 11.1 LiPos at a higher C discharge. Obviously we recommend 15C just for better consistency with your system. Sometimes if you run too high, you'll see problems where you might get 2-3 shot bursts, but really cool. So the internals are really nice. You have the quick change spring, so you just have to take the gearbox out of the gun, pop the spring, put it right back in. You don't have to take it apart. So nice. It's easy, relatively. Just saves you a lot of headache in the long run. So the MOSFET's better because it's a dual MOSFET, so there's essentially 2 different MOSFETs working at the same time to make the system more consistent, and so it won't get overloaded with however fast you're shooting the trigger. Another upgrade you can probably see is the rotary style hop-up. It's a standard VFC plastic rotary style hop-up, and just like the Avalons, it has the 6.03 Type 4 barrel, which is nice that a lot of people are starting to just opt for that. VFC, they're great because they always have a bunch of internal upgrades out the gate. You still have the high torque motor. You have all of those things that this already comes with. So it's pretty much an Avalon that's better in a much sexier body, which I very much like. So after taking it to the Chrono, we saw about 355 feet per second with a 0.25. So it's a little bit hotter than what you'd want to hear. But the cool thing is it has that quick change spring, so you can just swap it out. No problem. Not too much of a headache for anybody. With an 11.1 LiPo, we were getting about 26 rounds a second out of this thing, and it cranks. Like, that's just the Avalon gearbox. It's really high quality, just cranks at a high rate of fire. So if you ever go to a place where you will be able to use full auto, you can just let it rip and then strike fear in this thing that sounds like an A10 or something. Just so cool. HK 416A5. What do I think? If I had the budget for it, I'd buy this thing. They're so... when I saw that we had got them in, I wasn't here. I came in and I instantly picked it up and I was like, oh my goodness. This is a game changer. You know, there's so many upgrades that they made to like the 416 platform that were fixed with the 416A5. Plus, you get the improved Avalon internal. So it's like a rifle that's like doubly improved in every way possible, which is amazing. Like, it feels so good. The overall feel is great. The profile is really nice. The trigger is just like the VFC ones. I like that they went with the standard M4 trigger rather than the straight trigger. I'm not a fan of just straight triggers. I kind of like having it mold to my finger. But that's all personal preference. Whatever you like, you can put in here. It's a standard V2. So this would also be a good platform for upgrading. But why would you want to? This thing is a 1-year warranty through Elite Force Umarex. If you buy it here, we service it, so you don't have to worry about it. Should you get one? Absolutely. Will you get one? Yes. You're missing out if you're not. I mean, I know some people aren't on that M4 game, but oh my God, the 416A5 is a very convincing rifle. And remember, you can get this here. We have them just about always in stock. And if not, they're never more than a couple of days from being restocked. Like I said, Elite Force has a 1-year warranty, so you have a rifle that's supported, that's high quality, with upgrades in it already, and you have a very sexy looking rifle. You're definitely all set. You won't need any other rifles. This is the rifle that you may be looking for. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, subscribe to us here on YouTube. If you haven't already, hit that little bell icon next to the subscribe button. You get notifications whenever we post or whenever we go live for our live streams on Wednesdays, 7:30, approximately 8:15. So very cool. Other than that, thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time.